So, over the years, I've done several videos regarding mass shootings and school shootings. And usually those conversations devolve into whether or not we should have more gun control or less gun control to fix the issue. Personally, I think we're having those conversations the wrong way. I think we should be talking about how to harden our schools.
This surveillance image shows the suspect with his weapon inside the pre-entrance of the school, but he was unable to get past the next set of locked doors.
Thankfully, that school had a great safety procedure and process in place.
Because at the end of the day, that's what's most important, is making sure that our kids remain safe no matter what. So I'm here at Wheeler Avenue Christian Academy to speak with Anna Reger. Anna Reger has come up with a product that I believe starts that conversation in terms of how to harden our schools and keep our kids safe. So I'm going to have that conversation with Anna and see the product that she has, and hopefully we can start having this conversation a much better way. So, Anna,
hi.
Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to sit down and talk with you because I know for me, with what I do, my side of the issue is more or less combating gun control.
Ban them, ban them, ban them. They have no place in America.
And because of that, I've also wanted to start having conversations with people about finding solutions on how to keep kids safe in school and just people in general. And so you've come out with a product that I think is pretty neat that more or less does just that. So just kind of talk me through what Fliplok is and what it's meant to do.
So Fliplok is a way to secure every classroom in schools. So it's a way for anybody, if you're a 5-year-old, somebody to go into action to be able to make that room a safe room and essentially buy time for our children.
All right, so show me exactly how this works, because I know it's going to be a little anticlimactic, or it should be, because it's supposed to be simple. So I just want to get a first-hand knowledge on how this actually works.
Okay,
All right.
So all you do is you run in the classroom, you shut the door, and then you flip it,
Oh, okay.
and it drops and it locks.
Oh.
And it reminds you of the next action step, which is to call for help. And it lets everybody in the classroom know the door is locked.
Gotcha. You know, it's weird because it's like I'm used to clearing malfunctions on guns without even thinking. And then for some reason I was a little nervous I was going to mess this up because you overstated how simple it was. And
So simple, a 5-year-old can use it.
What are you saying?
You know. But not only does it do that, it also gives them peace of mind, because when our kids go to school now, they're thinking about things we never had to think about, which is some bad guy coming in to hurt them. But when they see something like a Fliplok, then they can go, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know exactly what action I'm going to do, and I know that I can go into action. So that lets them go back to being students. And the same with the teachers. They're scared. They want to be able to secure their kids, but they don't know if they're going to be able to go into action. But if you put something there that's easy to use, then they flip it. For Fliplok, it flips, it drops, it locks, but then it reminds them of the next action step, which is to call 911 or call for help or push the panic button, because kids don't know or people don't know, they freeze.
Yeah. So how does the actual mechanism work itself in terms of locking the door? Because I could see someone saying, okay, well, why not just have a regular lock on the door?
Because it holds over 2,500 pounds of pressure, and when you shut the door and you flip it and it drops and locks, it's that much stronger than, say, a deadbolt or a little latch. You know, the little latch, that's about all the protection that you have. And you know, as somebody that knows a lot about guns, how much would strength or how many bullets would you need just to shoot out a lock?
Gotcha.
And that's our only layer of defense for the classroom of our kids.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what was the catalyst for you? Like, what made you think, okay, I want to come up with a device that will work in the schools to help lock the door? Like, what made you go that route?
So I was in my office one day, and this is a couple of years ago, and I got this alert on my phone that no parent wants. And it was there's an active threat in our area. And I was like, oh my God. And our youngest was in elementary at that time, and my heart dropped, and I said, oh my God, I don't know what my youngest daughter is going to do in this situation, because I never experienced that before. And it really hits home when you get that. Yeah. So then in that moment, when she got home from school, I asked her, what do you do? I need to know. And so she said, oh, Mommy, I run in the classroom with my teacher. We get against the wall with our friends. My teacher locks the door, and my teacher turns off the light. And I said, and how do you know if the door is locked? And she said, well, I don't. And I said, can you lock the door? And she said, no. And I said, okay, what do you do if your teacher is not with you? And she didn't have an answer. And she just looked at me, and she was scared. And she had every right to be. And I was scared as a mom. Why can't our kids lock the door?
Yeah.
And what are the situations now, as I've done my research, they're stacking desks against the door. There had to be a better solution, and that's why I created Fliplok, because I wanted something any of our kids could use, any teacher, anybody, to be able to secure the door to buy time. As you know, time with somebody in that situation is of the essence, and how many lives can be saved in that moment.
Absolutely. So one of the questions I could see somebody coming up with is, all right, so it does a great job of keeping people out, keeping people coming in, but couldn't that have a dual effect with, say, for instance, a mass shooter coming in, flipping the lock, and then keeping anybody else from getting in the room while he engages in his carnage?
It's absolutely a valid question, and we thought about that as a parent. You know, you might have a kid that wants to play a joke or whatever that looks like, but we have an unlocking mechanism for that. We don't advertise it everywhere because we want to know that emergency, first responders, administrators, whoever that is, campus police, have the key to be able to get in from the outside, because that is an important aspect of having a secondary lock, a lock like Fliplok, into the schools that people can get in during an emergency.
My mind starts going when I see something like this, and I'm like thinking, okay, what other uses could it possibly have? So is it just a school thing, or is it utilized in residentials, I don't know, hotels, something like that? Because I've seen like really tiny, weak versions of them in like hotel rooms, right? Is this just for schools, or?
So the school lock is made intentionally in every way. It's made red, it's big and red, it's 6 inches, because we want everybody in an emergency to remember, oh, I know what to do if there's a panic situation. And then they know what to do, which is go into that classroom, get to that red lock, close it, and flip the lock. Now for homes, we don't really want a big, giant, red lock in our home, so we have it more aesthetically pleasing. It holds 1,669 pounds of pressure, 1,670 pounds of pressure, and that one is stronger. So a deadbolt is about 100 to 200 pounds of pressure, generally speaking.
Sorry, so the residential version, so it's smaller, a little more sleek, and it holds 1,600 pounds pressure.
Yeah, a little more.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's we have that in silver, black, and bronze, and we also have it inward and outward. We also have inward and outward for the schools as well. Yes.
Okay, I need to think about that actually.
Yeah, you have to have that.
Okay. And so I guess for the residential side of it, like price wise, where is that kind of?
Residential is about $59.
$59.
Yeah, very reasonable. And we give a lifetime warranty on all of our products, because I think, especially for schools, I don't think that they should have to buy something over and over. And even deadbolts, you have to replace them. They're not working, they're broken. And some schools said they have to put in work orders just to get a teacher a deadbolt that they're supposed to have, that's supposed to lock. And so that's unacceptable. With Fliplok, you don't have to worry about that. And it has a lifetime warranty, so it's just something that I think we wanted to make it very, very affordable for schools, because this is my mission, is to help secure our kids in classrooms.
Gotcha. So what's the response been? Because this has been a weird kind of area for people, right? Because it's either you sit on the side of, we want more gun control laws to protect our students in order to fix this school shooting issue, or you have my side who's like, no, I'm fine with arming teachers, things like that. But then there's that weird side where like we don't want our schools to look like prisons. Right. And so what has been the feedback from, let's say, the opposite side, or people who are more inclined to the gun control side? I don't know how much interactions you've had with them.
Well, I have people that have talked to me about that, but I said, look, do you have kids on this side? Do you have kids on this side? Can't we agree that they need to feel empowered to be able to go into action to protect themselves? Can't we give them a tool to be able to do that? And that's where I stand very much in the middle. I don't want to go one way or the other, because my goal is to really empower our students and keep our teachers teaching and making them and trying to secure and protect as many lives as we can in that short period of time when it's the most crucial.
Gotcha. And so what is the process like in getting them in schools? Is it kind of tough? Because I know they have their standards and so forth and so on. How difficult is that?
It's been difficult, but we have our unlocking mechanism is a one motion to get out of the classroom, and that's a big deal for a lot of schools. You have to have that for some states. It's ICC and NFPA laws, fire laws, and because the laws haven't been changed with the world that we're living in now, we have to still abide by those rules.
Gotcha.
And so with Fliplok, we created that one motion to get out, and that's been really big and helpful for us. We are in other states, Illinois, Texas. Now we have schools in Massachusetts that are getting ready to put us in. Florida. I've had hospitals contact us.
Really?
We have big hospitals that are coming in. Yeah, I didn't either. And apartment complexes are talking to us about, because they are required to have a secondary lock in their buildings, and also so are hotels. Hotels, apartments. Why are they not required in our classrooms? You have 20 plus children in there. And why is there only one person that's allowed to lock that door? When these kids they will go into action, and the teacher may or may not go into action. For me, as a mom, that's unacceptable, because I know if my kid has a tool, she will absolutely go into action to use it.
All right. Well, I mean, I think the lock is awesome. Personally, might want to get one for myself for my place. But no, I thank you so much for doing what you're doing as far as finding alternative ways to kind of keep our kids safe in schools, because I think that's an important conversation that's not really being had, and even going beyond the conversation, actually doing something and coming up with something.
Right.
So I thank you actually for helping me get that conversation started.
Yeah, no, and one more thing I want to note is, for example, if my kid goes to somebody else's kid's school, there is no standard, like a standard. However, if there's a fire, there's a fire. We all know what to do, and I think that the world that we're living in has changed.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any different, and I think that my real mission and goal in the future is to standardize an active threat drill, no different than a fire, no different than a tornado or hurricane. It's the world we now live in, because as you've seen in all these shootings that have taken place, where there's whatever their laws are, there's no alert. I just don't think that's right. I think we need to put a standard in, and I think that's really where we can really minimize the chaos and the carnage.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Right now, there's a culture war against the Second Amendment, which is why I need your help spreading our message to counter their message. You can help do this by leaving a comment, sharing this video, and click the bell and subscribe button. Let my voice be your voice, and let them know you want to keep America tactical, because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed wasn't a suggestion, it was a directive. Also, if you're wondering where to purchase your AR-15s are essential, I will not comply. I am the militia, the new Draco design, and your state-specific Keep America Tactical shirt. Click the link under the Keep America Tactical in the description section of this video. Or if you're watching this on mobile, tap the small triangle on the lower right-hand side of this video and click the link in the description.